What's up, people? It's Ramon Jamal here, and I am sitting with Rick Province, the owner of Ohio Ink Supply. Welcome to Screen Printing Real Talk. Off the cuff, no fluff, guys. We're here to learn exactly what it takes to become a screen printing professional.
Ow.
Right, Rick?
Very nice.
All right. So I guess like the first thing, if you want to get into screen printing, would be the type of press that you would use, right?
Definitely. So we have tabletop presses, we have manual presses, we have automatic presses. Where to start, right?
I know that's right, man.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I would think like, so I don't know nothing about screen printing per se, like, you know what I'm saying, where to start. Now, well, first thing that came to my mind is cost. You know what I mean? Because people, when you initially getting started into something, you want to be like, hold up.
You want to buy the most expensive press?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But I mean, if you got the money, then certain presses are better than others.
Right.
But let's kind of like hit the, you know, the low end to the top end, like where to start, like what would be best for a person.
Beautiful. We got a Jumpstart kit.
Okay.
It's an entry-level press. It's tabletop, one station, one color. Throw the screen on there. Comes with a little kit on how to screen print. Comes with all the manuals, all the how-tos. You get support. You throw it on the press, the tabletop, and you can do a one color, one station just to get cooking.
Okay. So that would be like if somebody sent you a design and it, you know, it had like several colors in it. You like, okay, I can't do that, but I can hook you up with the one color, and it's going to be cheaper for you to go that route.
Probably less than $200 for just the press.
Okay.
But it's entry level. It's tight registration. We picked a nice machine, but next step up would be more of like a Vastex 4-color, one station, tabletop press again, a little bit more, a couple $100 more probably. And you're looking at 4 colors at maximum on that, and you can print multiple colors on the multiple heads in that scenario.
Okay.
So it's a little better arrangement. Next step up from that is adding more stations. So now instead of just loading one shirt on one station, you're loading it on multiple stations, spinning it around, and as that's drying or flash curing for your next color, you're putting another shirt on, going to your next. So now we're into production.
Okay. So let's step back. So like I said, this is off the cuff, no fluff.
No fluff.
The first one is just one screen.
One
screen, one color. So that would be cheaper for you to get started, and also you can sell that as being cheaper for the customer.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, if they got a multicolor, you can be like, listen, I can do it with one color. It's gonna be cheaper for you, and let's get it.
It's a hobbyist press, more transitional into just getting started screen printing as a professional.
Okay. Now the other one, the next one is four stations. Stations. When we say stations, is that like the actual where you put the screens at?
That's where you're loading the actual shirt on. So that particular press can be a 1 station 4 color or 4 color 4 station. So you can upgrade. Again, as you add more things, obviously the price is gonna jump up as you continue to add.
Okay. So again, me not knowing. So 4 stations, the stations is where you put the shirt on.
That's right.
Right? So 4 stations, that means you can have 4 shirts going with like one color.
Yep.
Right?
So as you're printing multiple colors, you want a flash dryer hovering over top of that next platen. That's where you load the shirt on. So as you're printing your first one, you're spinning it underneath that flash dryer. It's lightly curing that first color so that you can attach another color on the next. And so each one of those platens or each one of those stations are important to have. So as you're gaining production, you're starting to get some business in. Now, instead of just sitting there all day with a 1 color, 1 station, or even a 4 color, 1 station press, you're pressing the first one, rotating it, and as that's curing, you're hitting that second shirt.
Okay. So so those stations are called platens. You can have 4 of those.
Yeah.
Reloading the shirt. And you can still be doing the 1 color.
Oh yeah.
But then you can upgrade to have up to 4 other colors.
Up to 4.
And still have the 4 stations for the 4 shirts.
You got it.
Now that's what we talking about. Now we getting into that big money.
There we go. Upgrades from there is migrating from, you know, mom's kitchen table off to having a freestanding unit. So now you're talking to something that's a little more professional. Now it's freestanding.
Okay, so those other ones, they don't come on a stand. You can like put them on top of a table or
Yup,
something?
on top of a table like this,
Okay.
or on top of a sturdy, you want something sturdy, nothing
Right.
like a fold-out table ideally.
Right.
Because you're putting some force into it to screen print that shirt. But yeah, once you graduate from the tabletop, now you can get into more of a freestanding model.
So those were tabletop. The first one was $200. The second one with the 4.
It ranges anywhere from $500 to say $1,500, depending on which model you choose. There's an arrangement there.
Oh, okay.
And so with the models too, you're kind of an entry level, kind of next rung up is just getting one without micro registration.
Okay.
Micro registration is where you clamp the screen in, and once it's clamped in, you have the ability to loosen some lock nuts and rotate where you want your design to be. You have a little play there.
Mm-hmm.
Without micro registration, you don't have those knobs. So your registration is literally unloosening those 2 knobs with the screen and trying your best to line it up with just the screen itself, rather than using the machine to kind of tweak it in and lock it in registration wise.
Okay, cool. So,
when you're doing multiple colors, registration is key. You want that second color to hit right on top of that same location.
right, so line up perfectly. So micro registration
Micro registration is kind of
is where it's at.
that's what I would recommend for sure.
Right. Cool. All right, let's go.
So now-
what's next?
Freestanding, you can go all the way up to 8x8 now with our Vastex presses. Vastex, in my opinion, obviously I'm a little biased to sell it, but it's a tank, man.
Okay.
You could dance on the thing, it's not moving. The thing is made right. It's good old American quality. Micro registration.
You can dance on it.
You can dance on it.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you can go 4-4, which is a 4-color, 4-station press, and you can upgrade that particular press up to an 8x8. So the nice thing about Vastex too is you can start small and upgrade incrementally as you grow, as you need new stations, new heads. Mm-hmm. Heads is where the screen attaches to press. So it's a press that you can grow into.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. And you're looking at a range, depending on which series, anywhere from say $2,000 up to $5,500, say, with whole kit and caboodle.
And that's the standalone.
That's a standalone press. Yeah.
All right. A question about the standalone press.
Yep.
Okay. So I know the previous press, not the first one, but the second one, you're talking about how, you can like upgrade that one to be a 4-4, right? But it's still a tabletop.
It is, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Then the other one's a standalone. Does that come 4x4, or do you have to buy those pieces separately to make it a 4x4?
Well, you can jump in the game at any point of the press building process.
Okay.
So you can buy a 1-station 4-color and add different stations. Or you can jump a step of the ladder and you can get a 6-6, let's just say.
Okay.
You can go any configuration up to 8-8 you can do.
Okay, so if I wanted to come in, I want to stand alone because I wanted to make sure it's sturdy and I could dance on it.
Oh yeah,
Then I would,
important. It's
right.
important.
So I would get the standalone, and even if I was doing one color, I could still do one color on the standalone and have like the 4 platens.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or stations.
Yep.
So, okay,
Completely.
cool.
And then the next thing up from that is how do you determine when is a standalone press enough, is at its maximum capacity to where you're having to jump up to an automatic press.
Okay.
Automatic is where, in most cases, it's either ran by pneumatics or electric. Mm-hmm. And you're loading a shirt, you're pressing a button literally, or putting it on auto, and it's cycling around. And instead of your hands moving that squeegee, it's the machine that's doing the work.
Now you have a robot.
Now you have a robot. Right. When do you make that jump though, right?
Right.
And how do you make that jump? Well, in my opinion, when it makes sense to not have to hire that person, the person is always going to cost you more money than the investment of the machine.
Right.
So if you're looking at a, say, $1,000 payment a month versus $1,000 every 2 weeks, maybe for a good qualified employee, it's obviously half the price per month, and you got something that you can load and press a button and it does the work for you.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of, do I have enough work to compensate for the machine? If you're choosing an auto, also, you want to compensate for about 2 years of growth, in my opinion. I made the mistake of doing that early on. I instead of jumping into an auto, I hired more people. I bought a cheapo used thing, and it accommodated what my growth was at the current time. Well, a couple years out, I found myself needing another machine again.
Okay.
So now I'm in a position where I have to reinvest some money, and it basically cost me double rather than just getting something that's 2 years out and growing into that machine.
Okay.
So how do we afford it though?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, is there a payment plan or like what? How do you get?
So we're a partner. We have an exclusive partnership with Rock and screenprinting.com. Ryan's been awesome to offer us the opportunity to sell that this side of the states, and Rock is the bomb.com when it comes to press.
Okay.
It's the best in my opinion. The problem with the best, you're going to pay for the best. But again, it's the press that you can grow into. So how can we afford the best? Well, we have two options. You can finance through a leasing company. If you're struggling with credit a little bit or a little uncertain, we have Quick Spark that we're partners with. You can go on the website, apply for financing there. If you have great credit and have been in business for over 2 years, I'd recommend just doing business with a traditional bank. If you need help with that, we can point you in the right direction. But
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Options. You get what you pay for.
That's it, man. That's it. No cheapo here necessarily. It's
right.
We're set up with companies that are good quality, that are made for production. You're not going to have to buy another one for a while if you invest in a good quality press.
Right. That's it, man. So look, if you want to get into it, you want to get the best quality.
That's right.
Because you want to give the best quality.
Yep.
Right. So that's a good thing, man. So
nailed it.
Is that the gist of it? What we got so far?
That's the gist of choosing the right press. That's it.
Okay, man. Well, hey, listen, Rick, man, appreciate you for all the information, brother. Listen, if you guys have any questions, please leave comments below. Let us know what you think. Because we're here to learn together.
That's right.
Okay. So that's our first episode of Screen Prints Real Talk. I remind Jamal, Rick Province, thank you, brother. Until next time. Peace.